Okay, question 13, part A. Now, part 1 is trivial, isn't it? It's fine. Just use the factor theorem. That was okay. No troubles. Okay. Part 2 is where it started to get interesting. And by interesting, I mean terrible. Firstly, you had to factorize, okay? Now, the first problem emerged when you had a lot of different approaches to this, okay? Because now that you've done the factor theorem, right? You know that that's a factor. You also know that this is a factor, okay? So the astute among you notice that if they're both factors, then this is a factor, right? Just like if 2 and 3 are a factor of 24, that's how you can know 6 is also a factor of 24. Because the product of the factors will also be a factor, okay? But here is where the problems began. Some of you saw, okay, look, I'm dividing this through, right? But I'm missing all of these terms here, so I better include them, okay? So you wrote z to the 6, and then you said, well, there are 0 lots of z to the 5, and then there are negative 8 lots of this one, then there are 0 lots of z cubed, and on you went, okay? Now, almost invariably, you did, well, actually, you did one of two things, okay? Either you wasted your time writing about 50 more terms than you needed to, or you just got tripped over by the algebra and the arithmetic in here of subtracting and adding, and you got the wrong remainder and the wrong, what's it called, quotient at the end, okay? So what could we have done better? You should notice that this is not just a polynomial in Z. A better way to look at it is that it's a polynomial in Z squared, right? So to make it simpler for you, so you don't get caught up with all of the even powers, that kind of thing, the way that I would have set it out is I would have just made a substitution. Say let u is equal to z squared. Rewrite the thing in terms of u. That's u cubed, 8u squared, 11u, and 20. Okay? And then you can just do synthetic division. It falls out. I don't think anyone did they? Maybe one or two? No? No one did. You just wasted time. We know how to do this, right? What are you going to be dividing through by? Z squared minus 4, right? That's u minus 4. That's the factor that I've got now. So you just slap 4 there, right? And then you say, here are my coefficients. 1, negative 8, 11, 20, okay? We can do this, can't we? Surely. Okay? You write the first number down. Now what? Multiply across, then you add. What do you get? Negative 4. You multiply across, you get negative 16. You add, negative 5. And as you expected, 0. Far out, you guys wasted time here. Okay? u squared minus 4u minus 5. You put it back into z squared, and then you can factorize the thing. Okay? P of u will be this times this. Okay? Now once you get it back into z squared, okay? When you factorize this, what's the pair of numbers you're after? It looks like negative 5 and 1, right? So you've got this, you've got your z minus 2 and your z plus 2 at the front. Everyone got that right, thank goodness, okay? And then you factorize this, and you said, well, that's z squared, what do we say, minus 5, and z squared plus 1. And then you should have packed up and gone home. But no, no. Let's play a game, right? Is it rational? Is it rational? No. No? Is it rational? Yes. Oh, is it rational? You all said yes. All of you. Now, lesson for young beginners here, right? You know I spent some time at Sydney Uni last week, right, and this week actually. And I was doing exam technique and that kind of thing. And I'm telling year 10s, and I say to them, read the question, read the question. And I think everyone was just on autopilot at this stage. And they're like, well, one of them will ask for real and then one will ask for complex. So off I go, right? This is what reading time is for. It's what, you know, back in my day, they didn't have reading time. They just said, 5 minutes, psh, wimps, just get started, okay? Then they decided, no. They need to pay more attention to what the questions are saying. Let's give them 5 minutes. use it, okay? Rational. So that's where you should have stopped, okay? That was, what was that? That was part alpha, okay? When you went to part beta, all you had to do was do difference of squares twice, and that was the mark, and most of you were fine with that. Okay. A small number if you forgot to factorize it even then, but anyway, there you go. That was